Good day. Today I want to talk about a very important subject that is affecting millions of people, even billions of people across the world, diabetes. The connection between diabetes and diet. Diabetes and diet, D and D, highly connected, significantly correlation between diabetes and diet. See, I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2012, November or December. I'm losing weight. I went to a doctor. He did a blood test and said, your glucose in the blood is too high. You got type 2 diabetes. So I prescribe you to take insulin and some medication, oral medication, metformin, 1,000 or 1,500 milligrams. So I started taking insulin, after breakfast 15 units, after lunch 20 units, 20 to 25, after dinner 20 to 30 units. So per day I'm taking insulin around 60 to 80 units, sometimes 100 units a day, plus everyday metformin twice a day. And the blood glucose dropped from 280 or 300 to 110, 100. When I get up in the morning, I test my blood, it's around 98, 105. And the doctor said anything less than 120 in the morning before coffee is good. And any figure less than 200 after 2 hours after lunch or 2 hours after dinner, you test your blood. If it is less than 200, you are in good shape. And I was maintaining 170 after 2 hours lunch, 180, 160 at 2 hours after dinner. So everything is fine. For the last 12 years, I'm taking insulin and metformin. But the problem I have is my weight. I'm gaining weight, you see. I'm gaining weight at 73 years old, man. 5'6" height, 161 pounds is too heavy. I had a big tummy, big stomach, and it was very difficult to carry a bag load or a barrel in front of you and carry all over the place. So walking becoming difficult for me at this age. So being a scientist, I read a lot of research papers in all fields just for fun. PubMed, PubMed, PubMed is a site on internet which publishes all research papers, millions of them, all over the world, hundreds and thousands of papers. So I typed diabetes and diet, thousands of papers. I read. Those are very tough papers, very difficult. That PubMed is only for medical professionals. Sorry. So being a scientific background, I could understand. So I read each paper 3, 4, 5, 6 times to understand. So in this presentation, I want to present what I read in a simple English which a layman can understand. And the doctor said, when I went to diabetes, he said, look, go low on the carbs. Don't eat too many carbs because that creates sugar in the blood. With these medications I gave you, you will be fine. And I'm fine for last 12 years. But the problem is weight gain. So I read in the PubMed a lot of papers, and this is I learned from those papers. See, what is diabetes? There is the sugar in the form of glucose in the bloodstream in the human body. Okay. So approximately there is 1.5 gallons of blood in our whole body, 1.5 gallons of blood in our circulatory system, in the arteries and veins and various organs. Around roughly 1.5 gallons of blood. So the blood carries glucose. Okay. Now the glucose or sugar from the blood enters the blood cell It has to enter the blood cell to circulate and convert to energy. Otherwise, you cannot do any activities. Now I'll tell you what is the purpose of energy coming out of the blood glucose. All metabolic activities. Your heart, pumping blood. The pulse is what? 74 times a minute. Pulsing heart. So for heart function, otherwise you will die, your heart will stop without energy. Your lungs cannot breathe without energy, you will die. Your brain cannot think, cannot send instruction to all organs what to do. Hey, you kidney, you do this. You liver, you do this. Pancreas, you do this. Intestine, do that. Large intestine, do this. And then movement, legs, talking, walking, looking, hearing, breathing, driving, working. All these things, energy. That energy comes from the glucose. But glucose in the cell, not in the stream. Remember that. The glucose in the cell provides energy. Now, for diabetes people, there is too much glucose in the stream. Because when there's too much glucose, the glucose molecule wants to enter the cell. That is where it should be, to convert it into energy. But the cell says, the blood cell says, I got too many glucose already to convert energy. I don't want any more glucose. Go away. She shut the door of the cell, blood cell. So the glucose circulating in the 1.5 gallons, causing these problems. But the doctor prescribed insulin for me and metformin. What these medications do? These insulin force open the gate, the door of the cell. No, I don't care whether you have full of glucose, you have to take it. Take it, and then it opens the door and push the glucose from bloodstream to the cell, blood cell. And the blood cell is overloaded with glucose. And the glucose go to the liver. And you know what liver does with excess glucose? It will convert to fat. All this glucose coming, excess glucose is coming from the cells, go to the liver and converted into fat. Now, what the liver does fat? She can't keep it. Liver is only a very small organ, Maybe less than, I don't know how much, less than a pound maybe. So this fat is accumulated in our stomach. That's why we all have big tummies. For women, breast, thighs, buttocks, legs, on the back, on the neck, fat keep accumulating. Fat accumulation means weight gain. That is what happened to me. Then I discovered, although insulin and metformin is reducing by glucose or sugar in the bloodstream, but I'm gaining weight. See, I'm a 73 years old man. I cannot walk with this big 40-pound tummy in front of me. It's very difficult to walk. So I read these PubMed magazines and a lot of journals, and from the journals and magazines. And then I discovered the relation between diet and diabetes. This I want to present to you today. You see, when you eat carbohydrates, the carbohydrates were converted 100% to sugar in the intestine, and then supply sugar or glucose to the bloodstream. So from bloodstream it enters the blood cell. From blood cell it goes to liver. The liver uses for energy all this converted to energy, and you need energy for metabolic functions, the functions I described before. And the excess glucose go to fat and put weight. So if you cut down the carbohydrates, your sugar in the bloodstream will drop. No more sugar is pushing from bloodstream to the blood cell, and you're okay. So then I said, that's good, The doctor said, just be careful on the carbohydrates. He did not say to reduce to a minimum. But you have to reduce carbohydrates to minimum to reduce the glucose in the bloodstream. You can only take 5 to 10 grams of carbohydrates. Then I saw my food, what I'm eating. White rice removed, brown rice removed, cracked wheat removed, chapatis removed, puris removed from our diet. Dosha, all kind of doshas, rava dosha, peseret removed. All grains, rice, sorghum, all millets they call small. India is the mother for millets. India is the mother for beans, legumes and millets and grains and pulses. It's the birth country. Thousands of years ago, hundreds of different kinds of grain. All grains are removed. You understand? So no carbohydrates on diet. And then I look at what vegetables I'm eating. Potatoes, starch, converted sugar removed. Sweet potato removed. Colocasia removed. Dumpakura means the underground tubers. Kanda, shama even removed. Removed. Only underground is carrot, radish, turnip. Those you can eat it. So the vegetables I'm eating now is all green vegetables. Eggplant, tomatoes, cucumbers, cabbage, cauliflower, lady's finger. You can eat any vegetable and all green. And India is a birthplace for leafy vegetables. Todakura, mentikura, chukkakura. There's so many leafy vegetables you can eat. But remember, I removed pulses. No papu, no pesarapappu, no kadipappu, nothing. The problem is, this dal, we call it dal or papu, has a lot of protein, 20-22%. But they also have carbohydrate that convert to sugar. So I have to remove all dal and grain from diet. Okay, so all vegetables you can eat. And then the second is what kind of oils I can use. You cannot use regular corn, soybean or sunflower oil. You cannot take. I'll tell in detail about oil, what is omega-6 versus omega-3 fats and fatty acid concentration and various composition. But for the time being, just understand, concentrate on coconut oil, flax seed oil, fish oil, and olive oil. Olive oil, these 4 oils, remember this. You can use sometimes saturated fat like ghee. You can use a little bit. Ghee is a saturated fat like coconut oil. It supplies a lot of energy. So restrict these oils, coconut oil, fish oil, flaxseed oil, and these oils. And then meat. Proteins. You have to eat protein. You have to eat protein, otherwise you lose muscle mass. You lose muscles. You cannot walk without muscles. So you have to use a lot of proteins for muscle buildup. For Indians are vegetarians, unfortunately, 80%. So for them, eat 2-3 eggs a day. Boiled egg, scrambled egg, or omelette. You take a good omelette, 3 egg omelette with butter or olive oil or flaxseed oil. Put a lot of it and put these 3 eggs omelette. Put a lot of vegetables. That is a one meal. That's enough. You don't have to eat anything. Remember that. 1, 2, 3 egg omelette. 3 eggs with, you have to use 2 or 3 eggs in an omelette. Thick omelette. And put a lot of these green veggies in it. And mushrooms if you care for it. That's enough. That's one good meal. That's go to bed. And then, that is for non-vegetarians, they can eat chicken and they can eat fish, lot of fish. Yeah? And of course, they can eat eggs. So restrict yourself to goat, chicken, fish. So eat lot of protein, eat some fat, and eat vegetable in your diet. No carbs at all. Remember that. But you cannot get rid of. I got a lot of self-discipline. So I started this diet August 1st, okay? August 1st, this year, 2021. In 4 weeks, my blood sugar dropped to 100 without insulin. Remember, without insulin and without oral medication, metformin, my blood sugar is around 100 now, 120, 120, 130, 120, 98, 90, 88. That's great. Yeah. No insulin. And my weight is stand. I'm not putting weight, and then I drop around 4 or 5 pounds. First 3 pounds is water, so solid weight loss maybe 2-3 pounds in 4 weeks. Unimaginable. I weighed 139 pounds in 1973, October 10th, when I came to Trinidad as a PhD student at the age of 25. My goal is to reach that level, okay? 140 pounds from 155 or 154 now I am. So follow me. No carbs, no carbohydrates. A1C, check every 3 months. A1C is estimated glucose content. A1C, estimated glucose content or level over a period of 3-4 months. A1C, that should be less than 5.7, but less than 6.2, 6.3 is fine, they say, doctors. But if you check your glucose once in a while, if you take all the carbohydrates from your diet, it will drop, I promise you, to around 100, and you can live with it, and you lose weight. You got it? So listen carefully. Stop eating carbs and remove one by one from white rice, bread, rotis, chapatis, puris, everything, grains, sorghum, beans, tuber crops. Take off green vegetables, green leafy vegetables, protein, eggs, fat, good fats like olive oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, okay, and fish oil. These 3 items you eat. Next video upload, I'll tell you about intermittent fasting. How to lose weight. Now I told you how to lose diabetes. I will tell you how to lose weight. Okay? Bye.